What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Last week, Call of Duty came out and they made this giant announcement talking about skill-based matchmaking and the whole matchmaking process. And the one takeaway I had out of all this was something I talked about last week, was if all of this leads to player retention, all of this is good for the game, show me the numbers. Show me the data. And no data was provided. So I've taken it upon myself to look for the data. And unfortunately, it's very hard to find data on who's playing Call of Duty right now. The only real reliable resource we have, and I don't even know how reliable it is Steam charts. And the Steam chart numbers aren't extremely favorable to Call of Duty. Now, if we want to dive into this, here's the Steam chart here. And what it shows is a lot of red. Now, a lot of that red is associated to MW3, where I think this entire community got duped and fell for a bait and switch tactic. And unfortunately, we were delivered one of the worst Call of Duty games ever. But what we have seen over the last few months is some positives, right? October, November, December, all in the green. Great stuff. But to be expected. The numbers that I do want to focus on are, of course, January 2024 and December 2022. Because these numbers are crucial for us. What we've seen in just January alone of this year is that 13.5% of players on Steam aren't playing anymore. Losing over 10% of your player base just like that isn't a good thing. And I have a hard time believing that these players have migrated over to play on Xbox or PS5 or over on Battle.net. No, you've lost 10% of your player base. And I think this is true across the game in 2 months, and that isn't very good. Now, of course, I also want to direct your attention down to December of 2022, where, yeah, there's some staggering red there. But 178,000 people were playing it. As bad as Modern Warfare 2 was, on average, 178,000 people were playing. In December of 2023, a whole year later, 75,000 people have stopped playing Call of Duty on Steam. Now, I can get along with the argument that some of them have migrated to Battle.net. Sure, let's say 25% of those players have migrated over to Battle.net. And then let's say, hey, maybe another 25% have gone to PlayStation and Xbox. Cool. That still leaves us with 15,000 players, or 25% of those numbers, that have left the game altogether. In 1 year, you have diminished 15% of your player base. 15%. That is unacceptable. That is inexcusable. And remember, this is in 1 year. Imagine if this is extrapolated over the next 5 years. What we're seeing right now is the law of diminishing returns. You can keep going after your casual player base as much as you want. But what we've seen is, yeah, great sales numbers in November of 2022. Abysmal numbers in November of 2023. Because people are sick of your shtick. And if you want to say to us that there's real data to support player retention, I'm looking at real data and I don't see player retention. I'm seeing hard numbers here that show me the truth behind Call of Duty. You feed off of the influx of traffic during November and December, and you slowly die off throughout the rest of the year. People stop caring about you because you've made the experience not lasting. It has no staying power because the game gets so stale so quick, because your developers stop caring about the game after December. Again, call me crazy. Say that I'm cherry-picking data. It's the only data we got, guys. Hey, if they came out tomorrow and proved this wrong, you would hear me say, I'm proven wrong. But I'm looking at the data, and I see a whole lot of red. I see a whole lot of negatives. High player numbers leaving the game. And like I said, you want to keep losing double-digit percentage points of your player base every single year? I mean, go right ahead. This is the path you're going down. But what? Just because revenues are high, things are good, everything's hunky-dory? This is only going to work for so long. This is the whole, fire everybody, to inflate your shareholder price, to only have it be detrimental to your company 5 years down the road. This is what short-term returns look like. I want to invest in the long term. I want to see things grow over an expanded period of time. Not this short period where things are great. No. What we are witnessing is the downfall of Call of Duty. It's happening right in front of our very eyes, and it's because of the greedy executives over at Activision. Sure, it's not going to be quick, it's not going to be rapid, but it's going to happen slowly, and it's going to happen painfully. And unfortunately, the players that are left behind are the ones that are going to have to pay the price for it. And that's frustrating. Here's some more numbers for you. And this is just subreddit stats from Modern Warfare 3 subreddit. Massive drop-offs in comments and posts per day ever since December. The data supports retention of players. I don't see retention of players here. I see players caring less and less about your games. It's that simple. The data supports the exact opposite of what you've been saying. So that must be why there's no data. That must be why they refuse to fully be transparent about this, is because they don't know what to do. They know that their metrics are leading to higher revenues, and maybe that's all they care about. But you're leaving the player base behind, and what's happening is less and less players are going to play, which is going to slowly but surely decline your overall revenue. And you can try to save it by injecting crazy crossovers and injecting more bundles and crazier bundles like they've been doing, but it will only go so far because you'll continue to alienate more and more players. And that's sort of what they've been doing. I mean, I look at anybody who has a skin in Modern Warfare 3, and depending how crazy it is, it's a litmus test to tell me how crazy they are. Like, do you really care if your player is glowing purple? Or do you care if they're glowing red? Or if they have a cape or some kind of sombrero? Or do you just want a good, cohesive gaming experience? I mean, I could live with all these things if the overall game was better. But it's not. It's not. It's not a good enough experience as it stands. And nothing they say and nothing they do really ever increases that user experience. You want to make the game better, you fix the fundamental problems that are there. And more players will play your game. More players will spend money on your game, myself included. Like, you want the game to be better. You want me to spend money on it? Fix your servers. Fix your matchmaking. Fix all of the problems we've been talking about for literal years. I mean, you know how far Modern Warfare 2 would have gotten with me if they had just made some of the changes that we suggested back during its beta? Would have made it so much better, so much more enjoyable. But they chose not to do that. They chose to neglect the community. And I feel like consistently neglecting your community is just bad practice. And at some point in time, it's going to come back and bite you. I'm hoping it doesn't happen anytime soon, but it might happen. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So those are my thoughts on it. Obviously, I still think we are slowly witnessing the downfall of Call of Duty. It's not happening quick. It's not happening sharp, similar to what happened with Halo Infinite. But it's happening. And it is very apparent that Activision needs to act soon. I don't know if there's any worry there or any concern, but I'd be worried. I'd be concerned if I worked for that company. Things are going to be changing. Or at least they need to change. But that's it. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.